truth on Judgment Day.
All right, but till that day, don't show your faces round here. Go on, scat! Go on, get back to your cow flops.
Come on, Joe, wake up.
Easy does it. Got a new sheriff.
How's that?
Ask the major.
Major.
Hold it there.
Give him what he asked for.
You're kidding, I hope.
No. Load it up on the wagon, and fast. What were you saying about the major?
Hey, you!
Hombre! Don't you know Brother Tobias doesn't like to see guns at his table? Why don't you remind me to take off my holster? Well, now you know.
Your gun, brother.
Where's the wine? Where's the wine?
Bows down! You two! Everybody in line!
Oh, you stupid. You don't drink wine, eh? All right, you don't drink wine, but you make love, no? Cabron!
Wait, brother, wait.
You're not my brother no more. Hit him.
Lazily lying on a frame, he lets his horse drag him through the desert. Rocks and water don't make him move an inch. He's calm until his horse stops at a tavern. He rises, puts on his boots, and heads in for a hearty meal. He walks inside, brushes off the dust, and everyone locks their eyes on him. He ignores the two bounty hunters and the prisoner, walking right to a table, while the annoyed owner, thinking he's just a dirty bum, gives him a lot of attitude. He nods to show he has cash, brushes off dust, and readies to eat. The owner brings a pot of beans, but only puts a tiny scoop on his plate. After a big burp, the hunters at the next table get curious about his true identity. Nobody crosses the desert that fast, and he looks like a mess, so they just have to be suspicious. The hunter, thinking Trinity is dirty, uses bread to lift his chin. They want to see his face, letting the partner check if he's the wanted man on the poster, but they find there is no bounty for him. Instead of apologizing, the hunters mock him for being a slob who only knows how to eat. Anyone else would have lost their cool, but Trinity only cares about food, so he just laughs and ignores them. With only a thick layer of red sauce left in the bottom of the pan, he uses a slice of bread to scrape it all out clean. Trinity scrapes the pot clean, eyes turning sharp. He calmly straps the holster to his waist. He walks over, fearless, and tells the captive to leave. Bounty hunters are shocked, wondering who dares to be bold. It turns out that Trinity is a marksman, so after hearing his name, no one dares make a sound. He leaves. He calmly walks out, but the two arrogant bounty hunters won't quit. They try to ambush him, yet Trinity doesn't even look back as he guns them both down. He learns the prisoner was framed and hunted. He treats the man kindly, letting him lie on the frame while he rides, and they head together toward the local town. Entering the town, he senses danger hiding in this place. He heads into the right alley, hiding far away to watch. He watches as a gang of thugs surrounds the town sheriff, demanding he hand over the man behind him. Even though he's all alone, the sheriff faces the pressure without giving those lowlifes a glance. Trinity watches the scene and quickly connects the dots. Thugs framed the man. Things are spinning out of control. Trinity rides his horse right through the middle of the crowd. This shocks the sheriff, and all the thugs are frozen stiff. Instead of leaving, he just stops nearby. 3 gang members tell him to take off his gun. To enjoy the upcoming show, he complies, lying on boards to watch. Before the duel, Trinity already knows how it will end. Sure enough. As he said, the man wonders how he's so smart. Trinity admits the sheriff is just like him, a top expert. The devil's left hand beats all the thugs and leaves. The bully is bitter, but since he's outmatched, he has to take his men and leave. Trinity brings the wrongly accused man to the station and tells the sheriff everything. He clears him, and seeing the man is badly hurt, they decide they need to treat his bullet wound. Trinity offers him some alcohol to help numb the terrible pain. Next, they use a primitive way to get the bullet out of him. Oh man. Treating the wound, the sheriff jails him to rest. He tells Trinity to take the man home tomorrow, warning that tangling with the gang will bring much more trouble that the local station can't handle. The sheriff is Trinity's brother. After escaping jail, he killed a stranger tracking him, then found out the victim was the town's new sheriff. He made a truly fatal mistake. He took the dead man's identity, stayed in town, turned a new leaf, and kept the town safe. He fears his brother will repeat mistakes, so he's cold to him. Trinity is easygoing. Ignoring his brother's coldness, he heads back to his room to bathe, unaware of his brother's plight. He fights to keep the town safe from the thugs. The local gang is always bullying the townsfolk, but the sheriff knows he can't get rid of them all on his own. So he keeps Trinity around and makes him his deputy. The new deputy starts his job and wanders the town. He meets 2 pretty farm girls and stares, but suddenly he hears a heated argument from the shop. Laid-back Trinity turns serious and stays on alert. An old farmer is kicked from the store. Seeing them humiliated, Trinity's anger is truly ignited. He sought to build some authority in town, so he steps in, leading the farmer into the store to buy all goods. But 2 arrogant cowboys, relying on their boss, won't show respect, despite him being the new deputy sheriff. Trinity then shows them his gun.
No. Load it up on the wagon, and fast. What were you saying about the major?
Hey, you!
Locals hear the fight and flock there, and Trinity walks out of the shop without a scratch. With this, he earns the town's respect, but the trouble isn't over. He heads to the tavern thugs frequent and sees them playing cards. Trinity warns them to stop bothering the farmer. A thug tries to sneak attack him. Trinity sees it coming, and he even deals with an upstairs ambush. Within 2 hours, the shop was wrecked. 3 heads smashed, 2 men downed. This huge noise made the sheriff furious, blaming all of it on his brother. This is bad because the thug leader is actually a major who might call in the cavalry to wipe them out. If a big fight breaks out, everyone will know he is a fake sheriff, which would be a total disaster for him. To keep peace, he plans to kick his brother out, but he insists on staying since he is there. Fine, you troublemaker. You do what you want. However, the peace doesn't last long, and Trinity is in trouble at the bar again. Old White rushes to the station to tell the sheriff. He bangs on the door, shouting for him to hurry because his brother is causing some trouble at the local bar again, and it's bad. Oh? No, he was alive when I left. He feels frustrated, a huge headache. Why does he always cause such trouble? Bambino grabs his weapons and sprints to the bar. He sees a few cowboys cornering Trinity, and after asking, he learns they were insulting their own mother. Bambino, for peace, stops holding back now. Since both are officials, the cowboys fear killing and being wanted now. They agree to drop guns and fight with fists. The 2-on-9 brawl starts. The cowboys think the brothers are arrogant, but the tide turns. Everyone attacks the sheriff, but he is incredibly strong. All attacks are useless against his raw strength, while Trinity just quietly watches the fight. Soon, all the cowboys are down. The brothers share a drink, chatting about Mom. The next morning, they head to a beautiful valley farm. Because of fertile land near water, it is a target for many groups. The villagers think they are just passing through, but then they realize it's their rescuers. The chief invites them to stay for lunch. Trinity says yes immediately, and his brother goes along with it. The villagers are religious and require them to disarm before eating. Brother, your guns, please leave them off the table. We don't want any tools of violence near our food, okay? Don't put them too far. Thanks, brother. Let's pray. But they barely sit down before they have to stand up again to pray. The sheriff is uncomfortable, not understanding why they need all these complicated rituals just to eat. While they eat, a Mexican gang attacks. The women and kids hide, and the brothers quickly stash their badges. The gang leader, Teddy, chats with the chief. Luckily, he follows custom, puts his gun away, so the brothers relax. The chief's water angers Teddy. He instantly just flips out. The chief orders all the villagers to stand in a line and accept their punishment, because they are forced. They just take the slaps. When it's Trinity's turn, the elder pleads. The kindness fails, and he gets a slap. The brothers are starving, but Mescal gets ready to start hitting them too. Trinity turns, sees his man trying to steal the show, and slaps him, then looks back at the person in front of him. Trinity and Bambino switch places, and Mescal gets interested in Bambino. You're a stranger, but you're strong and tall. Put your hands down. Slapped, Bambino doesn't move. The laughter stops, and before Mescal knows what hits him, the sheriff knocks him out with a punch. His men rush to help him up, but the boss tries to be tough again and just gets hit for his trouble. He realizes he met someone tough, and the whole group runs out of the valley in a panic. He vows to return. The bandits leave, and the villagers come out. Though they beat robbers, they will surely return later. Before they leave, Bambino tells them to make a defense team, but the chief and daughters refuse to use weapons to fight. The sheriff is shocked, so he leaves with his brother. Thank you. Let's go. They haven't eaten all day, so they finally eat dinner at the station. Who knows? Then Deputy White tells them 2 scary strangers just arrived in town. They look like bad news. Trinity is excited to check them out, but his brother quickly stops him. The brother knows these are killers hired by Major Harriman to take them out. Meanwhile, the Major has his eye on the valley, too. He wants to kick the villagers out to turn the fertile land into an army horse farm. He hires 2 killers to take out the sheriff and his deputy first. Then he will deal with the villagers later. At noon, Trinity looks out the window and sees 2 ugly men in black. He knows they are the killers. Trinity isn't afraid, but is excited to fight these skilled men. The killers walk into the shop, and Trinity sneaks out behind his brother's back to confront them. They act like they are just walking, but they are luring him inside. He sees the Major watching, which makes him more determined to face them. He walks into the shop, where the killers are waiting. He looks them over, thinks they look flashy, but are weak, and ignores them to shop. This insults the killers. They provoke him. The Major waits for good news, but after shots ring out, his 2 killers run out of the shop in defeat. Trinity. Trinity walks out safe, and the Major's group surrounds him, acting like the victims. They accuse Trinity of firing shots and disturbing peace, threatening to get him kicked out. The sheriff is anxious because his fake identity as a sheriff is not safe at all. The real sheriff might be alive and hunting him. Bambino is on the list, and I stole the real guy's badge. The guy with the sheriff's badge is not dead. He's out there right now, coming for me to get it back. He looks for me, wanting me to help him catch the guy. That's laughable. Would you betray him? You don't know me. I don't need that money. But Bambino knows his secret won't last long. To protect his annoying brother, he draws his gun and forces Trinity to leave, effectively parting ways for the time being. Trinity doesn't leave, but goes to the valley instead. He misses the chief's daughter and wants to see her again. The chief knows why he's back. The girls are at the river, and he rushes to them. They invite him to swim with them. Trinity jumps in. They all have a really great time. They suggest he stay and become their husband. They allow polygamy here. Trinity didn't expect such luck. He decides to settle down. Back in the village, Trinity wears new clothes. As he talks about the future, two strangers walk into the village, and he worries. He lets the chief handle them, while he stays back, ready to strike. They act like they crossed the desert, running to the water trough to drink, and then rudely demand food from the villagers until Trinity steps in with his gun. He figures out these guys were working for his brother, Bambino, and asks, "Are you looking for him?" "Do you know where he is?" "Yeah, he's waiting for you." They come to the town to find the sheriff. Bambino takes them in and gives them work. Trinity then finds his brother. "Brother, I need to tell you something." "I don't want to hear it. Stop talking." Trinity. He wants to work together to defeat the Major. Only then can these villagers live safe from harassment. He wants to settle down and stop wandering. He swears to turn his life around. Bambino is shocked to see his brother changing. After thinking about it, he agrees to his brother's request. "Fine, I'll help you out." "I know you've totally changed, brother. Thanks, you won't regret this decision. I've already thought of a plan to deal with the Major, so just listen to what I have to say." "Don't stress about how to stop the Major. Leave that to me, because I've got it all figured out, and it's gonna work out fine." Meanwhile, the Major comes up with a new plan and approaches the bandit leader. Mescal agrees to help drive out the farmers in exchange for 20 horses, so the two villains join forces. The two evil forces join up. The sheriff warns the villagers, but they stand by their faith, won't strike unless attacked first. No choice, Bambino teaches the villagers self-defense. In a few days of training, they learn very little, not enough to fight. During practice, Trinity spots someone watching from a hill. They capture the spy. At first, the spy won't talk, but after a gun is put to his nose, he spills the Major's plan. Knowing the bandits have over 20 men, Bambino realizes they don't have enough people to fight them head-on. They must be smart tomorrow and teach the Major a lesson by hitting his assets tonight. At dawn, they dress like Mexicans and take the spy to the ranch, lying that the villagers are finished so the Major lets his guard down. They use the chance to drive away the horses. When the guards notice, it's too late. The sheriff and his friends take the horses. Meanwhile, the real sheriff arrives at the station. His assistant sends the real sheriff away. Early the next morning, White brings guns to Bambino, tells him about the real sheriff and the missing horses, hoping for a share. Bambino promises to pay him, then starts his battle plan, but the chief hates the idea of violence, worried about his home, and sure the Major won't hurt women and children. As the sheriff struggles to persuade them, the Major arrives with a big group. The gang stares at them with a menacing look. The Major thinks the chief will beg for mercy, but the chief just tells him he'll never win. The Major orders his men to destroy the house. Suddenly, someone points a gun at him. He yells. They do not know their boss is held hostage. Before they can react, Bambino and his crew show up with weapons, and the game is over. The Major only pretends to apologize, claiming it is all just a misunderstanding. Bambino warns him to stop the harassment. Respecting their non-violent beliefs, Bambino skips the guns and tells them to use their fists to teach these guys a lesson. The self-defense moves they learned finally come in handy. After a chaotic fight, they win, and the Major surrenders, promising no trouble. But then he demands his 20 horses back. The brothers play dumb, acting like they have no idea what he's talking about, and since he can't win a fight against them, he's forced to leave empty-handed. Bambino wants to sell the horses to get rich, but his brother gives them to the villagers, which makes him angry. Finally, Trinity does not choose to. He doesn't stay. He chases after his brother. "Brother, why won't you let me tag along with you?" "Look, if you don't want me shooting you in your sleep, just let me go. I am your brother." "I am doubting that now. I am heading east home. You go west." His identity is exposed. Bambino can't return. He leaves for California with two friends to seek a new path. He wanders off into the desert. It is a classic 1970 Italian Western comedy film. That first pot of beans still looks fragrant, so healing and stress-free. If you want to shed your stress and feel pure joy, this classic Western comedy is definitely worth your time.